Morning guys, it's Hannah. I know it's been a long time coming, but I am actually going to do a garden tour, so welcome to our 1-acre little farm. This is our entryway. These were my apple trees and a deer came and ate away all the leaves. But I figure the Lord knew that it needed a pruning job, so He allowed it. So I'm just gonna leave it and it'll come back next year. I wasn't gonna get any fruit on that this year anyway. Look at these lovely dahlias, beautiful flowers. All in here, you guys, I have Swiss chard all planted for my fall crop, and this is all corn. We have kale all in here. These were beans, and as you can see, I don't know if my dog is eating it or if a deer came and ate it, but I'm gonna leave these. I don't think they'll do anything, but I've already consecutive sown some more beans over in the other side of this little stretch right here at the far corner. I've sown some more beans. They only have a 55-day harvest time, so they are really fast crop. Those beans, radishes, lettuce, those are all really fast crops that you can consecutive sow through the summer and can get a continual harvest. So I've been doing that out here in the garden. So there we go. There's corn. There's Mr. Rooster. We have corn planted all along the fence line. You guys can see the deer left me not very much on here, but that's okay. I wanted to just show you guys beans. These are leeks right here. So these are leeks I have planted here. If you can see the green right coming up right here. Those are chives. This is a purple corn. The actual corn is not purple, just the stalks are purple and the ears of corn will be purple. But they are coming in lovely. Corn planted all along the fence line. Cantaloupes. This cantaloupe seed came from a cantaloupe that we opened and bought at the store, and I didn't space it or anything. I just threw the seed and I'm gonna see what happens. These are our purple beans. You can start seeing some fruit. These should have already been producing. I feel like I got a little bit of a late start only because I had foot surgery. So I didn't really get this stuff planted in the ground until like 3 weeks after my last frost date. But they, like I said, they have a short harvest time, so I'm not really too concerned. I know it'll harvest by time the season's over. There's some sweet white corn and some more corn that I planted a few weeks ago that's doing really well. This is where I've been sowing more consecutive beans. And what I do, you guys, is I pull back the bark or the mulch. I dig a hole, I put some potting soil mixed with our chicken compost, and then I plant them and I put more chicken compost on top, and then I'll cover it and I will water it really, really well. And that's pretty much what I do when I plant. Over here is our pumpkin patch, and I went ahead and I side dressed all of these plants with our chicken compost from the back of our property. And I side dress them, and I've been watering them, and I've seen them, some of them start to perk up, like these 4 right here. But these ones are really doing well. They're doing so good. You can just tell the color, the flowers, they have a strong root system, and they're doing really, really well. So I'm just gonna continue to water here and see how they produce. When Josiah planted these, he may have planted them a little bit close together, but as long as I give it the proper nutrients, it will not be a problem. So I'm looking forward to having pumpkins in our pumpkin patch. Over here, you guys, we have a ton of crops. These are pumpkins as well that are all coming up. And these are all tomatoes that I stocked up so that they can grow vertically. And we have a ton of squash over here, wild flowers. So these are all wild flowers right here. And these are tomatoes. And I've gone through, and what I do, you guys, is I clip all the leaves about a foot up, about 12 inches up, sometimes more, it just depends, just to prevent any water damage. Like right here, you can see this is blight, and that's just from water hitting it. So you want to clip away those dead or those diseased leaves and get rid of them so that the plant can thrive. You see all these little flowers. It's all fruit that wants to come in. Over here we have some cucumbers up here in the front. Look, you guys, isn't that beautiful? I'm gonna give it another day or so. It's about ready. These are pickling cucumbers, so you don't want them to get too big, because what happens is if they get too big, they can tend to get bitter, and they're just not as good. So you really want to pick them right when they come to harvest and they're small like this, so that way it'll not only promote more growth for the plant, but it just makes the vegetable or the fruit of the taste better, because you're harvesting it at the right time. Let's walk through here. Some parsley that we have on the front of the property. It's doing really lovely. These are all wild flowers, nasturtiums that I planted. And this is actually a morning glory right here that is wanting really badly to climb up my parsley, but I'm going to train it to go up this tree. So hopefully it'll start to wrap around the tree, and that would look beautiful. I have planted in here some turnips. I don't think they're doing too well. Look it, I need to come and spray with some diatomaceous earth because these have a worm. Some kind of worm. Yep, there he is. I'll show you guys. I'm gonna show you so you can see. You see that little green guy right there? He's the one. So they come and they eat and they feast and they lay eggs. And so if I come and spray my plant with some diatomaceous earth, all of this, then they'll do pretty good. So I think I'm gonna come out here and maybe just amend this soil and spray it down. Tomato plants, squash. This is all squash. This is a yellow summer squash. And these are just green summer squash. I think they're called Green Giant is what I planted. We've already harvested some fruit off of it, but you look at all these flowers. And the thing about, for those of you who are new to gardening, you want to leave the male plant, the male flowers. So the female flower is what will eventually bear the fruit, just like us, right? Just like women and men. It's the same principle in plant life. So you need a male and a female to pollinate the plant in order to bear fruit. And so if you see this one right here, it just has a stem. That is a male. These are the female. So you have to have both of them in order to produce fruit. So we have, you can do stuffed squash blossoms. That's really popular. They're really delicious and sweet. And you just take the male flower and you can fill them with a stuffing and fry them and serve them with tomato sauce. It's just magnificent. But I'm choosing to leave them because I want them to cross-pollinate and I want them to produce more. So I'm not cutting them away quite yet. Maybe at the end of the season I'll do that, but not yet. This is all corn here, you guys, that we have planted. I just sowed, these ones didn't sprout, so I put some more here, and they're starting to come up. And corn typically has about 85 day to harvest. And I planted these about a month ago. Morning glories, sunflowers, nasturtiums, just all beautiful things. I'm gonna take you, but these are our peppers. And I was over here yesterday, and I'm starting to see fruit on these peppers. I'll start to see over here we have a ton of fruit, like peppers. Oh, they're just probably so delicious fried up. So I'm gonna come out here and harvest all of these. So that way it gives the plant more energy to focus on producing more. I'm gonna go and grab my coffee and take you guys on a walk back to the greenhouses and our outdoor garden space. This is the front area of the property where the farm stand is. Which, if any of you guys have seen our posts on Facebook, the farm stand has been just such an answer to prayer. It's a really great meeting place where God's people can just come and get fed. Usually we have eggs out here, vegetables, homemade baked bread I usually do in the morning. My sweet friend Katie from Kate's & Co. has her homemade soaps here, which has just been so awesome. So yeah, this is just a lovely place. I just love coming in here. I love even doing devotions out here. It's just such a sweet place of meeting. That's not good. I got my kale seeds on the floor. I think my kids, they get a hold of my seeds, and I'm probably gonna find seeds like sprouting everywhere because they just randomly scatter them everywhere. I didn't show you guys this over here. So this is lettuce that planted the seeds about 2 weeks ago. So just making sure it's really, really saturated with water. And really wet, and I can start seeing I have watermelons that are popping up over there. I have okra, lettuce, and I really feel like in the garden space, the Lord is always teaching me some kind of spiritual aspect, when I'm in the garden space. And lately he's been speaking to me about sowing sparingly. So he who sows sparingly will reap sparingly. And even if I am a little bit late in the growing season to sow some of this stuff, I'm just throwing it. I'm just throwing seed and seeing what the Lord does, because he knows what we have need of. He knows what we need to survive. He knows what we need for the farm stand. So I'm just being faithful to sow the seed, and I'm leaving it in the master gardener's hands, and I'm just going to see what he does. And just really, it's a test of my faith, because I like to be in control, but this is a place where I have to lose all control, because it's out of my hands. It's really out of my hands. And so it's just really a cool thing to see, a cool thing to partake in, of just watching what the Lord does. If you're just faithful to honor him, his word says that he will be faithful to honor you. Like, you know, draw near to me and I will draw near to you, you know, like, seek me and you will find me if you search for me with all of your heart. So, really, really enjoying this time in this season with the Lord in the garden space. All this loveliness has just been growing in so beautifully. Really excited about the harvest. I don't think I've shown you guys my watermelon plants. We have so much fruit on the watermelon plants. It's just amazing. And I think it always surprises me. It shouldn't surprise me, but it always surprises me, because it's where I can see Yahweh like actually like working and just glorying in his creation. Look at this, you guys. It's so beautiful. I actually don't even know how tall this sunflower is. It's gotta be at least 8 feet. Maybe 9 feet. I don't know. I should probably get a tape measure and measure it, but it's the grapevine training mat to go up towards the trellis, so that way it could start to come up here on this wire rack that my husband built. But look at this, you guys. I wanted to show you. Where is it? Look it. Isn't that beautiful? There's another one. There's a ton in here. We were out here, me and the boys. There's another one down there in the corner. We were out here, me and the boys, and we were like looking, and we just kept finding more and more and more. And oh, it's just so cool to see. Look at this little baby one. It's just so awesome. These are just sunflowers that we have planted. I'm probably gonna harvest this one today and go and put it in a vase somewhere, but they're all starting to open up. They're just so beautiful. Once they're all open, it's gonna be so breathtaking. A lot of times when I'm out here in the garden, I'm doing a lot of maintenance, a lot of pruning away the dead stuff, nourishing what's there, side dressing the plants with organic matter like chicken compost. And a lot of times I miss videoing it, just because in the course of the day so much happens here at the farm that it's really hard to just always have my phone with me. But I wanted this morning to take the time and bring you guys out here so you could actually see just the garden and how much it's grown and the changes that we've made. This is Dutch cabbage. Some of it had some damage control on it. Like I see aphids in here. Look at, see that? So I need to come and spray all those off and put some diatomaceous earth on it and just water it at the base for a while. But I'm seeing like a lot, like this one. Yeah, see in there? You see all that? I need to get rid of all that. That's just part of gardening though. Gardening is messy. It's not the stuff that we see in the stores, I think is deceiving because we see it so manicured and perfect, and a lot of it is modified. Gardening is messy. Gardening, you know, you're gonna have dirt on your stuff when you prune it, and you gotta wash it off. You know, it's not gonna look uniform and perfect. Like, that's not real gardening. So I enjoy coming out here and looking and seeing what I can do to just make this place better, you know. And obviously I look to the Lord to help me with that, because He knows what's best for all these plants and what these plants need. I'll give those to the chickens. Oh, look at you guys. Yay! Look at that. So this this artichoke plant, I let it go to flower because I wanted it to invite the pollinators and I wanted them to come. Oh, look, you guys. We're gonna go ahead and harvest that for dinner tonight. That's so awesome. I love it. I have some lettuce coming up here. There's lots of stuff planted in here. Squash, lettuce. Over here we have Swiss chard for my fall crops already sown in here, and it's starting to pop up. This is all kale, and this kale has been here for a couple years, and I just leave it and just let it go to seed, and it reseeds. And at the end of the season I'll probably cut it down, harvest everything off of it, and then cut it down, and then come next spring everything will start to pop up again. Look, I planted these, and already the worms have come and just devoured. That's half the battle. That really is half the battle, is fighting the pestilence. These are radishes. Look at, you guys, all the radishes that are coming in. It's lovely. Just so cool to see. See, that's what I mean by gardening is messy. It's, you know, this is a radish that you pull out of the garden, but if you were to go to the grocery store, you would find a perfectly round, perfect little radish, and there's nothing like homegrown food. Nothing like homegrown food. Over here we have all of my beets. These are boulder beets. Rainbow beets are over here, and boulder beets are over here. Look at this eggplant, you guys. Isn't that so cool? I'm gonna wait until it gets a little bit bigger and then probably prune this or harvest this in the next day or so. But we have lots of fruit. There's another one. I see a few more over here on this plant too. Right here and here. We have this little pepper. I'm gonna harvest it because these are technically supposed to be purple peppers, but I let it go a little bit too long. tomato plants, outdoor tomato plants. And this year I really planted my tomato plants everywhere. So they're all along the fence line. Instead of having them all constricted to one specific area, like I used to have them planted here in this area and in this area, I wanted to just really utilize this deer fencing and plant it vertically, so that way they have more room and space to grow. I'm a really messy gardener, but as you can see in here, you guys, oh look at, there's a bunch of lettuce coming in. All these yellow leaves, I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna prune them away. And Sundays, typically, the farm stand is not open because it's Sunday, it's family day. Even though I don't man the farm stand, it's just a day for the Lord. And Sundays is really like my day of maintenance where I can come in and do a lot of maintenance on my plants. This is the herb garden. Morning, buddy. How are you this morning? Say hi. Hi. Mommy's doing a farm tour. You want to come with me and do it? This is technically my herb garden, but this is oregano. I have strawberry plants. I harvested a bunch of strawberries yesterday, but look, you can see this little one right here. But the ones I harvested yesterday were really big. They were much bigger than what I got last year. But these will continue to produce every single year. They're perennials, and I won't have to worry about replanting them, and that's what I really love. And they also create tubers where they can just they continue to tube through the ground and create more plants. So that's a really a good thing. Here we have cauliflower for my fall harvest, mint, rosemary, more oregano, and then over here we have more cauliflower that I planted in this little garden bed out here. Along this fence I have green beans. I think these are purple pole beans. Yeah, purple pole beans. There's a voluntary tomato plant that just popped up on its own. This is like my favorite time of the day to come out here. The sun's just about to come over the ridge. It's just beautiful and quiet and cool. It's not hot yet, which is really nice because it's been really hot here. These are all my seedlings. If you saw my video a couple weeks ago, I did a video about sowing seeds and starting seeds, and these are all those seedlings that are popping up. Doing damage control on these too. Look at, like, he's like eating away all my, he's right there. There he is, right there. So I need to come and spray these with diatomaceous earth again, and make sure I'm getting them really covered, and then I'll just water from the bottom up so that way they continue to grow. So this chart's looking really good though. I know, you guys, I haven't done a lot of videos on Addie, but we do think she's pregnant. We got her tested. Her amniotic fluid measures that she's pregnant. She's supposed to furrow her pigs on August 7th. So we're just kind of waiting for that to see, because it's really just a gamble. You don't really know until they're here. We've just been monitoring her and just taking good care of her. But that's Miss Addie over there. Addie girl. Addie. Hi. Good morning. Hello. Hi. Aren't you just so cute? Good morning, Miss Addie. We're gonna go say hi to your friends. So we these are all my hens. There's more inside. And And we had a fox come and probably eat quite a few without me knowing. So we just introduced 12 more little chickens to this flock. And we added another 8 just about 4 weeks ago, and they are those ones back there. So they've grown a ton. I actually think I have a rooster right there. He's right there. And they won't start laying probably until September, October, if I got them in like February or so. So February, March is when I got them, so they won't start laying until September. And so I really only have 24 laying hens, but they give me at least a dozen a day, a dozen eggs, if not more a day, which is such a blessing to have fresh eggs all the time. I wanted to bring you guys in here though, and show you, look at all of this, look at all this fruit, you guys. Look at all this fruit on this plant. These are cherry tomatoes. There's nothing like a homegrown cherry tomato. Like our friend says, it's like liquid sunshine. I have to agree with Mr. Ben. It is definitely like liquid sunshine. So look at you guys, they're all tomato plants. I'm gonna show you really fast. So if you watched any of my other videos, I have explained to you guys about tomatoes. You always want to prune the foliage and the leaves from the bottom. You want to prune them up to about 12 inches, so that way there's not a lot of leaves down here, so it has a lot of airflow. But if you're in a space like this where it's not very high, I think this is only 10 feet high, maybe, yeah, 7 feet. I think it's 7 feet high. You can cut the tops of your tomato plants right at, let's see if I can find one for you guys. Right here. So I cut it right here. This is the top. And what happens is it'll stop. See, it's trying to shoot a sucker. That's a sucker. So I'll take that out. And what happens is it'll stop growing vertically and it'll start to produce fruit, more fruit, because it sends all the energy to produce the fruit. But look at this, you guys. These are all heirloom tomatoes. Sometimes when they get like, I can't find one right now, but look at all this deliciousness. We have so much fruit on here, so much. I'm just waiting for it to start. This one's starting to turn red. My kids get so excited and they come out here and they want to pick them. And I'm like, you can't pick them yet because then they're not going to have anything. You got to wait till they get ripe on the vine. But they were super excited and I love that about them. These right here, they're like aroma tomato for canning. These are all like a heirloom rainbow blend of tomatoes that I got. So I'm really, really excited. I'm a big tomato fan. Look at all this loveliness. So much fruit. Just in abundance. These are my pepper plants, my indoor pepper plants. I'll have to come and tie this up. It looks like it's starting to lean to the side. We have some fruit starting on these plants. You see where the flowers are. These are cucumbers. It's kind of hard to see because my garden beds, I can't walk on this side and show you guys, but this trellis I put in here so that the cucumbers can grow vertically. And you can start to see, look at little pickling cucumbers. These are called Miss Pickler. I got them from Gurney's. I'm trying to see if there's, all these flowers will eventually be cucumbers. Look at all those cucumbers. Oh my goodness. That's a ton, you guys. Oh, there's another one right there. You see it? It makes me so excited when I see fruit, you guys. It blesses my heart so much. Just to be able to say, like, Lord, I co-created that with you. Like, I partook in growing that. Like, you allowed me to partake in that. And I always think of, like, in the beginning, you know, like, he gave Adam the job of tending to the garden. Like, that is something that he esteemed highly. It was a job that was esteemed highly in God's eyes. And it's a job here in our society that's regarded as something so, like, low. And so it just goes to show you how upside down our way of thinking is, our society is, and all of that. So these are eggplants that I have planted in here. And I was out here the other day and look at that. Isn't that beautiful? It's so pretty. So all these flowers will eventually bear fruit. Once the flower falls off, then the eggplant will start to grow. So here you have another one that's gonna start. We probably have a lot in here, but you see all these yellow leaves? I'm gonna come in here and I'm going to just clip them away, so that way the plant is not trying to keep these dead leaves alive, but it can focus more of its energy on bearing the fruit. There's another one, you guys. It's just so awesome. I love it. Over here, I planted some more seed the other day. This is Swiss chard, and you can already see it's germinated. It's starting to pop up. These will be for my fall crop. And over here, I have broccoli. And then I also planted some more seeds, some more carrots for our fall winter crop. These are all carrots. It's so interesting though. I find it interesting because even though these are carrots, I only planted carrots here, but in the seed packet was this petunia, and it just planted itself there. And so I think I'm just gonna leave it. I'm just gonna leave it so it brings the pollinators, and I need to go through and get rid of these weeds, but I really don't want to disrupt the root on the carrot. The whole fruit is a root. So I'm excited about these carrots, you guys, to see how they do in the fall, and to see what we can harvest from them. So we have a ton of carrots here, a broccoli over here, carrots, and then over here we have turnips. I planted turnips all in here in this bed, and then over here on this side I have planted beans. It's called Butterworth lettuce, so it's like a butter lettuce, and then more Swiss chard here. I love Swiss chard. It's probably one of my favorite vegetables, besides tomatoes, just because it's just so nutrient dense and good for you. Here we have more tomato plants. We have sage, fresh sage, potatoes that are about ready to be harvested, all tomato plants, and I'm starting to see flowers and like fruit, but nothing's coming into flourishing yet, so we'll just wait and see. In here I have onions planted. There's a tomato. More onions in here, and these are white onions, broiler onions and red onions that are all planted in here. This is a raspberry plant. This is actually asparagus, you guys. And why it's doing this, I planted this in the beginning of spring. But why it's doing this is that it's good because it's creating photosynthesis for the fruit for next year. So next year I'll actually get asparagus. Look at this, asparagus is trying to grow. I'll actually get it fruit, but this is just generating energy for it next year. So I'm just leaving it as is. I won't cut that away. I'll just leave it be. Here's some chamomile tea. Blueberries, more tomato plants, and along this fence line, you guys, are all my blueberries. I have grapevines, Concord grapes, tomatoes. Here I have some kind of worm or something is eating it. So in here we have tomato plants, and these are my grapevines. These are tomatoes. Here's that asparagus again. So it's just the little like ferny looking things. It just creates the energy that the plant needs. And this I'm just training to go along the fence, so it will trellis up that. Tomato plants. These are currants, just red currant, and then more tomato plants. And over here, this is a grapevine that is doing pretty well. We won't get any grapes until next year, but just really excited to see how well that grows. I need to cut this fern. Just so lovely. Woke up this morning feeling very thankful. Thankful for rest. Thankful for the Lord and His faithfulness. Thankful for family. Trying to be thankful for the chaos. Yeah. That's hard to do. To be thankful for the chaos. But, oh, I didn't show you guys our fig tree. So our fig tree has fruit on it. We actually have a fig tree in the back of the property next to the greenhouses, and I'm thinking I might uproot that tree and plant it somewhere out here in the front of the property, because I feel like the roots are being stunted in the container that we built for it. I may plant another like flower plant there, or something else and replace it, but we may move that fig tree out here. So that's really it, you guys. That is our garden tour of our property, our 1 acre little property, of all the things that we have planted here. It's a really sweet time of the season, a really sweet time of year. It's a busy time of year, a busy time of the season, because it's like you're constantly doing stuff, constantly sowing seeds and watering and pruning and taking care of the garden. But I hope you enjoyed walking with me through the cool of the day with the Lord and you, and I pray that the Lord would richly bless you today and always. Thanks for visiting our little farm.